As Australia wakes to another Monday morning, most people are focused on going to work or school, while others may be struggling to face their day. I'm John Marsden, and in this programme we're going to have a rare look into the lives of methamphetamine users. We'll see how the alcohol, smoking and substance involvement screening test can identify the risks of drug use. And with a linked brief intervention, you can raise awareness and play a pivotal role in changing their direction. Our story begins in a family home in the suburbs.
Jade, are you ready? Jade. Jade, are you awake? Oh, Jade, you're going to be late for work again.
Get out, I'm awake.
Well, I can't wait for you because I'll be late for work. You'll have to catch the bus, okay?
Jade attends her local general practitioner for a medical certificate, as she is taking another day off work.
So what can I do to help you today?
I've got the flu, so I need a doctor's certificate.
When did that start?
Kinda yesterday. I've got a sore throat and a headache.
Okay, and have you got a temperature at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Taking anything for it?
No, not really.
Okay, look, just pop up over here and I'll just examine you. Just want to have a look in your throat. Can I get you to open your mouth for me nice and wide? A big R. That's great, thanks. Just have a feel of your throat here. Okay, fine. I'm just going to take your temperature and your blood pressure.
The nurse just done it.
Oh, has she? Okay, let me just have a check. Oh, so she has. So you've got a sore throat and a headache. How have you been sleeping?
Okay, I guess. I'm really tired.
How's your appetite?
Okay.
Any other problems at all?
No, I just need a doctor's certificate.
Okay, fine. Look, please, come take a seat for me. I just want to ask you a couple of other questions. Do you smoke?
Not anymore.
How about drinking alcohol?
Sometimes.
Any other substances?
Sometimes. Why are you asking?
Well, sometimes they can be associated with problems like the ones you've got. And I can see that you've been here 3 out of the last 4 Mondays with similar problems. So I just thought it'd be worthwhile asking about that. Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about substance use?
Okay.
Okay, that's great. Look, I'll just bring it up on screen. I've got a few questions that I can ask you on the computer. What I'm going to do is to ask you about your alcohol, tobacco and other substance use in the last 3 months and in your lifetime. I'll give you this response card. That will help you to be able to answer the questions.
Thanks.
So rest assured, everything that we talk about from illegal drugs is strictly confidential. So let's get started. In your lifetime, which of the following substances have you used? Tobacco?
Yes.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Cannabis?
Yes.
Cocaine?
No.
Amphetamine type stimulants, that can be speed, ice, ecstasy.
Yes.
Inhalants, drugs like nitrous.
No.
Sedatives or sleeping pills.
No.
Hallucinogens, that's drugs like LSD, acid.
No.
Opioids, so drugs like heroin, OxyContin, methadone,
No.
and any other substance that I might not have mentioned. Okay, so on to question 2. In the past 3 months, how often have you used tobacco? You can look at the response card if that helps.
I haven't. I quit a couple of years ago.
Okay, that's great. Congratulations. What about alcohol? In the last 3 months, how often would you have used?
Kind of weekly, I guess.
Okay. Cannabis? How often in the last 3 months?
Not at all. I only tried it once or twice years ago.
Okay. And amphetamines in the last 3 months?
Yep. That would be weekly too, I guess.
Okay. And in the past 3 months, have you ever had a strong desire or urge to use alcohol?
What do you mean, like a craving
Yeah, that's what.
for alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol. Never.
Never? And what about amphetamines? In the past 3 months, have you had a strong desire or urge to use?
A craving?
Mm-hmm.
Once or twice, I guess.
Once or twice. During the past 3 months, how often have you used alcohol that's led to health, social, legal or financial problems?
I don't really drink that much,
Okay.
so never.
Never? Okay. And for amphetamines, during the last 3 months, how often has your use of amphetamines led to health, social, legal or financial problems?
Does that include fights with my boyfriend?
If you think it's related to your amphetamine use, yeah.
Once or twice, I guess.
Once or twice. Okay. On to question 5. In the past 3 months, how often have you failed to do what was normally expected of you because of your drinking alcohol?
Like I said, I don't drink that much, so never.
Okay. And what about for amphetamines? In the past 3 months, how often have you failed to do what was normally expected of you because of your amphetamine use?
In the past 3 months. Like missing work,
If you think it's related.
I guess monthly.
Monthly? Okay. We're almost there. Question 6. Has a friend or relative or anyone else ever expressed concern about your use of tobacco?
Yes, ages ago before I finally quit.
Okay. And what about for alcohol? Friend or relative or anyone else ever expressed concern about your drinking?
I really don't drink that much. It isn't a problem.
Okay. Cannabis? Anyone ever expressed concern about your cannabis use?
No.
And what about amphetamines? Anyone ever expressed concern about your amphetamine use?
Yeah, they have.
Okay. Was that recent?
Yes, my boyfriend. Again. On the weekend, he doesn't use.
Okay. Question 7. Have you ever tried to cut down on your use of tobacco and have been unsuccessful in your attempt?
Yes, but then I finally did it.
And that was some time ago. And what about for alcohol? Have you ever tried to cut down on your use of alcohol and have been unsuccessful in your attempt?
No, never.
And cannabis? Ever tried to cut down on cannabis but were unsuccessful in your attempt?
No, I just stopped.
Okay. And finally, amphetamines. Have you ever tried to cut down your use of amphetamines but were unsuccessful in your attempt?
No, not really.
Okay. Last question. Have you ever used a drug by injection?
No, I never would either.
Okay, great. Okay, so look, I'll just print that off for us now and then we can have a look at it.
The assist can be administered at any stage during a routine medical appointment. The score is used to guide a brief intervention.
Are you interested in seeing your scores?
Sure.
So you can see that you've scored in the low risk range for most substances, But for tobacco and for amphetamines, you've scored in the moderate risk range. The tobacco is because of your previous smoking, but you can see that the amphetamines is in the moderate range. How do you feel about that?
The amphetamine score does seem high compared to the rest. What does that mean, though?
So what that means that you're at risk of health and other problems if you continue to use the way you are using now or into the future. And the sorts of things that we're talking about are problems with sleeping. There can also be mood problems like anxiety or depression, or more serious problems like psychosis. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, my mood has been all over the place. I'm feeling edgy and really pressured at work.
Sounds like you're struggling.
Yeah, I used to like work, but it's all just too much now. My boss is always on at me for showing up late or not at all.
Do you think that's related to the amphetamines?
No. Well, maybe. Because after some weekends, I can hardly move on the Monday and don't make it in.
Probably the best thing you could do is either cut down or stop using. Would you be open to that?
Maybe. I don't think it's that much of a problem. Do you?
Ultimately what you do is up to you, but I do think it's worthwhile exploring further.
Most of the time I don't plan to use, then I just do because someone's got some.
Can you tell me about the good things about it, your amphetamine use?
I like the energy it gives me. If I'm out and want to keep going, I just use and I can. It makes everything more fun and I don't have to worry about anything.
What about the less good things?
Well, I guess where I am now. No offence. But it does seem to come down to getting worse. I just can't get out of bed. It's probably why Josh and I are fighting.
So it sounds like on the one hand it gives you energy and enjoyment with your friends, but on the other hand it's causing problems in your work and also possibly problems with your relationships. So where does that leave you now?
Well, it is hard living with Mum, and I'm worried about me and Josh. My boss just thinks I have migraines, but I think she's getting suspicious it might be something else. I'm on my last warning.
So how would you feel about cutting down or quitting?
Maybe I should, but I really don't think it's that big a problem. I don't know. I guess it is.
It sounds like you're still a bit undecided.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
How about if we arrange for you to come back and meet up with our counsellor in the practice so that you can talk this through a bit further?
A counsellor?
Yeah, the practice has a counsellor and she's quite experienced in helping people think through problems like the ones that you have. Would you be interested in doing that?
Can I come after hours?
I can speak to her and see if we can arrange that.
Okay.
Great. What I'd like to do in the meantime is to give you some information about ICE, but also a booklet that might help you think through what you want to do, your decision making.
Thanks.
Okay, great. Now I'll organise that certificate and then we can see if we can book you in for that appointment.
I had the opportunity to catch up with Dr. Robert Alai and find out more on how the assist can be used in general practice.
Oh, by the way, I've just sent you a new referral.
Okay, thanks.
Hi Robert, sorry to disturb you.
John, great to see you.
And you, how are you?
Very well. Please, take a seat.
That's very kind. Robert, there seems to be growing concern about methamphetamine use. From your point of view, what do we need to know?
Well, I guess the key thing to know is the formulations. There's speed, which is the powder form. Then we've got a paste, which is an oily preparation. And more recently, there's Crystal, probably better known as ICE.
And is there a particular concern about ICE?
Well, I guess the potency of ICE has been the major concern. Very intense experience for people who use it, could be unexpectedly intense, and they often get side effects like problems like anxiety. But I guess it doesn't stop there. It could also lead on to delusions, hallucinations, and even frank psychosis.
What about the general approach that you take here in the practice? Can you tell me something about that?
Well, this practice uses screening and brief intervention using the assist. The idea is for us to identify the risks and reduce the harms.
And have you found the assist to be helpful with patients who have methamphetamine problems?
Absolutely. They typically don't go to specialist drug and alcohol services, but they do come to practices like this, and it represents an opportunity to intervene early.
So that sounds great. You do screening, but what do you actually do?
Well, that really depends. Low-level problems, it may be as simple as just giving some brief advice and some take-home information. Moderate levels, we tend to refer them on to see our counsellor.
And what about patients that present at the highest risk level?
Well, here the key of it is really for them to recognise the need for an assessment by a drug and alcohol service.
And say you've got someone who's coming in to see you who has a methamphetamine problem, but they're also using other drugs as well.
Well, that's actually very common. They typically use other drugs to help them come down. The key to it is to focus on the drug with the highest score, and if you have time, to manage the other drugs as well.
Now, I hear that there's a lot of time pressure in general practice. So literally, how do you find time to complete the assist?
Well, everybody in the team's been trained to use the assist, so whether it's the practice nurse or the counsellor, I often find it's helpful to use the assist if I think the reason they've come might be drug-related. It helps link it in as a routine questioning.
Right. So screening, early identification, and onward referral for treatment.
Yes, that's absolutely right. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, but it's time well spent.
Oh, it's been really great talking to you. Thanks so much, Robert.
Cheers.
Cheers. Following my discussion with Robert about straightforward applications of the assist, what about using the instrument with people with complex issues relating to their methamphetamine use? After leaving supported accommodation, Dan has been living rough and decides to drop in to see his community caseworker.
Hey Dan, it's good to see you. Come on in.
I just need to pick up my stuff.
Sure, so have you been?
All right. I suppose you heard what happened?
Bits, but it'd be good to hear it from you. Have you got time to take a seat?
Well, Matt started it. He's been watching me for ages. I knew he'd say something to you guys. It was him, wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah, I've been using again. I was doing all right before he moved in. Now I've got caught on Thursday. Look, can I just get my stuff? You have them, right?
yeah, it's fine. We've got your things in locked storage.
Okay. Good.
Though I have been concerned about you, and we were all concerned when we couldn't get in touch with you.
Yeah, I haven't got any credit on my phone.
Well, look, it's good that you're here now. It sounds like things are pretty rough at the moment.
Rough. Sure, that's one way of putting it. But what am I going to do about court for a start?
It's a concern.
They're going to put me away this time. What can you do? I missed my appointment with legal aid. I'm going down for sure.
Well, if you like, I can give legal aid a call and see if they've got any appointments.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Well, while I do that, do you mind answering the assist questions again?
What?
The assist. You've done it a couple of times before, and it's coming up to 3 months since you last did it. It's a really good way of seeing where you're up to at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
The assist can also be completed on a computer tablet. This saves time and is convenient when used to track progress, as the person is already familiar with the questions.
Some good news. Legal Aid have got some appointments on Wednesday, although you would need to be there at 8 o'clock. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And thanks for doing the assist. If you like, we can go through the scores now.
Sure.
Great. So, as you can see, you're still in the low risk range for a few substances and in the moderate risk range for tobacco and cannabis. So you're still smoking?
Yeah.
Okay. Where there has been a change is in your amphetamine score, and that's now in the high risk range.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the scores, particularly the amphetamine one?
Well, I don't have any money and I don't know what to do, so what?
Well, as we've discussed before, you said you've experienced some of these harms. Has that changed at all?
Well, at times I can't sleep. I don't want to sleep. I don't know. And then I sleep for days. I just feel like shit most of the time, real aggro. I don't know. I'm just fighting with everyone. Everything pisses me off.
So it sounds like you can relate to some of these. And your amphetamine use could be adding to some of your problems at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess. But what am I supposed to do?
Well, there are options.
Like what? I don't want to go back to detox.
Well, what do you think are some options at the moment?
I don't know. My ex said I could stay at her place, but she's using more than ever. I just don't know.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah?
What about giving the Alcohol and Drug Service a call?
For what? I don't want to go to detox. You can't smoke there for a start.
So not smoking was difficult for you?
Yeah, that and other things. I know I should do something, but what?
Perhaps just talking to the Alcohol and Drug Service and exploring what options are available to you.
I don't know.
Well, look, ultimately, the choice is yours, but you really have raised some concerns today.
Do you think it'll help with court?
It's a good place to start.
Okay, what do I have to do?
For now, it's just a phone call.
I don't have any credit. Can I use your phone?
Yeah, sure, you can use the community phone. So just to recap, you've got legal aid on Wednesday at 8, and we'll make the call to drug and alcohol now. Okay, anything else I can help you with today?
Oh yeah, can I get my stuff back now?
Yeah, sure, let's grab it.
As you've just seen, completing the assist can show a change in substance use over time. In Dan's case, completing the assist again after 3 months showed an increase in his risk level. The assist identified that a contributing factor to Dan's presentation today was his increase in methamphetamine use. Applying the principles of motivational interviewing, Amy was able to encourage Dan to have an assessment with a specialist drug and alcohol service.
What do I have to do?
For now, it's just a phone call.
Amy used open-ended questions to help Dan think through his current situation before responding.
How do you feel about the scores, particularly the amphetamine one?
Throughout the session, Amy affirmed or accentuated the positives in Dan. She did this by recognizing and acknowledging the positive actions Dan had already taken.
I don't have any credit on my phone.
Well, look, it's good that you're here now.
Amy used reflections throughout the session to help assure Dan that she was listening and was seeking to understand what he was saying.
You can relate to some of these. And your amphetamine use could be adding to some of your problems at the moment. What do you think?
Amy used a summary to wrap up the session with Dan, confirming they were both clear on the next steps.
So just to recap, you've got legal aid on Wednesday at 8, and we'll make the call to drug and alcohol now. Okay, anything else I can help you with today?
Continued use of methamphetamine can have a detrimental effect on a person's health and social situation. Today we've seen how the assist can be used in a number of ways and settings to identify the risks associated with methamphetamine use. Linked with a brief intervention, you can raise people's awareness of the links between use and harm and explore their options for a more positive future. Investing in the assist in your practice will make a huge difference to the individual and the broader community. 3 months after the assist, let's check in on Jade and Dan to see how they're doing now. Jade attended 4 sessions with the practice counsellor. She initially cut back on the amount of time she used methamphetamine and now has not used at all in the past month. Jade's work attendance has improved and she reports being more committed and confident in her work. Dan had an assessment with the Drug and Alcohol Service. Following this, he changed his mind and attended detox and is currently completing a short-term rehabilitation program. He is focused on his recovery and keen to return to his family in the country.
And Gary, to show us what